don't know what happened.
What happened? Shooting
Giannis happened. I don't know. Welcome back to Deep Dive In Between the Lines. My name's Mike.
I'm Vinny.
And I'm Matt. And this is Deep Dive In Between the Lines episode 2. We talked about the UFC episode 1, and we're talking about the NBA episode 2. We have Vinny, the Big Cookie D'Augustine, our deep diver insider for the NBA. Vinny, how you doing today?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Ready
Happy
to
to
be
be here. I'm ready.
Ready to talk some basketball? We're going to talk about the Eastern Conference semifinal games between the Milwaukee Bucks and the Celtics and the 76ers versus the Heat. And then we're going to talk about who we think is going to win the Eastern Conference Finals. We're going to do the same thing with the Western Conference, talk about the games in the semifinals, talk about who we think is going to win that series, and then we're going to talk about who we think the best team is, who we think the best player is left, who we think is even the best player in basketball. I'm excited for this, guys. You guys ready? Let's get right into it. The Celtics took down the Bucks in 7 games. I was not expecting this. 7 games. This series was amazing. Back and forth. Didn't know what was going to happen. It went to TD Garden, one of the hardest places, in my opinion, to play. I've been there personally for Game 7. It is absolutely wild in there. That place is crazy. There were celebrities upon galore there. It was amazing. Loved the series. Vinny, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Did anything surprise you about the series? Were you surprised that it went 7 games? And what do you think of the Celtics' performance?
I'm not surprised it went 7. But I will say I'm surprised it was a blowout. I mean, wow. Bucks losing by 27. I mean, obviously the Bucks got blown up, but you can't have Giannis's performance go not noticed. I mean, he had 25 points, 20 rebounds, 9 assists. He had a great first half, fell off in the second half, but I got to give him his props. But the Celtics, man, how about Robert Williams did not play last game, big defensive presence, and Grant Williams was a spot start. Took 22 shots, 7 of 18 from 3, added 27 points. I mean, Tatum, Jaylen Brown, always going to do their thing. But how about Peyton Pritchard, 17 minutes off the bench, 14 points, 4 of 6 played 3. Celtics, 22 of 55 from 3 for 40%, while the Bucks, I mean, the Bucks were dry out there. 4 of 33 from downtown.
I don't know what happened.
What happened? Shooting
Giannis happened. I don't know.
12%. Giannis needs some help. I mean, the Celtics absolutely balled out. I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts on that.
Let me tell you something right now. I thought the Celtics were winning in 6 games. They should have won in 6 games, in my opinion. They came back Game 7, and here's the thing about the Celtics. They have so many good players. I mean, Grant Williams played great. Tatum played great. Marcus Smart played great. Jaylen Brown. And then Pritchard, I think, coming off the bench. 14 points. And watching the game, they just had so much flow behind them. I never thought that. I know the game was close, but I really never thought that the Bucks truly had a chance there. I thought it was Celtics all the way. I mean, even Tatum didn't have the best of games. I mean, he still shot 50% from the field, 5 or 9 from 3, and 23 points. But I mean, Grant Williams was amazing in this game. Yes, he shot 18 threes, but he made 7 of them. He was completely on. And I just got to say, first of all, Giannis played amazing in the series. He deserves enormous credit playing without Chris Middleton. And the thing I loved about Giannis is there's a lot of superstars that when they're not doing their best, when they're not playing great, they kind of pass it off and they're not very aggressive. Even though Giannis was not making his shots, he still continued to be aggressive. He wanted to be that guy in the stretch, and they just kept feeding him the ball. He had the confidence. The guy had 20 rebounds. He started hot in the beginning, started to cool off. He still shot 10 from 26 from the field. He's a champion. Won the championship last year. Giannis will be back. I think he's going to be better than ever. They put some nice pieces. Chris Middleton comes back. Even Holiday, I mean, he had 21 points. He didn't play the best maybe that he played. I think it was Game 5. He had an amazing game. Obviously, the block on Marcus Smart and the steal on Marcus Smart to end the game. But man, Boston, it's going to be hard to beat Boston at home. We might talk about that, but obviously the Miami Heat have the home court advantage, so we're going to have to see about that. But hey, Celtics got to believe in Boston. They're really, really good. They have a good team. They know how to play together, and it's going to be a great matchup. Matt, what do you think about the series?
The one thing that surprised me about the series is actually, obviously we all know that Giannis is a great player. And Drew Holiday played very, very good in the series, especially defense down the stretch in some of the games. But I'm surprised that actually went to 7, to be honest with you guys. Because, like, they have Holiday and Giannis, but, like, they don't have much. While Boston is, like, they have talent on talent. And it's, I don't know if this showed great things about, like, how good Giannis is, or just, like, if Boston, like, did much. Because obviously they played great. Yeah. Like, Tatum did great throughout the series, but I'm almost starting to think, like, is Boston good enough to go all the way now? Because obviously watching that Nets series, super high on them, what they did there. But against, I feel like Giannis and like Drew Holiday should have not given them as much problems as they did. Obviously Horford played very good most of the games, things like that. I just now think about the more and more I think about it, the more and more I'm like, I'm not as impressed as I was with the Boston now as I was like maybe a couple weeks ago. That's
I mean, Tatum. You could say that Tatum almost locked down Kevin Durant. Not completely locked down. That was not the point with Giannis. Giannis did whatever he wanted. No one was stopping Giannis. Giannis is a different force in those games. It's very hard to stop Giannis. Do the Heat have anyone like Giannis? No. But I think that Giannis played an amazing series, and I think that even having Giannis, but I said this, that the Celtics have an incredible defense, and when you hold the Bucks underneath the 100 points, the record diminishes. It's very low. Holding them to 81 points in a Game 7. Obviously, we're going to get to the other Game 7, but that's an 8. But like the fact that the Celtics, their defense is their core. If they can come out, play good defense. Obviously, they're shooting more three-pointers than two-pointers. I mean, they shot 55. They only shot 88 shots as a team. So they shot, 30 shots, two-pointers, and 55 three-pointers. So they're living and dying by the three. But if they can keep making it off the bench, I think the Celtics played an amazing series. I thought that they were going to win Game 7. It's so hard to play at home. They really stole Game 5, the Bucks, and I give them credit for it. But to go and win 2 consecutive games at TD Garden is very tough, especially when you don't have, I wouldn't say a reliable two-guy in Holiday, but, the size is big matchups, especially in these series. I wouldn't say that. I was actually very surprised. Jaylen Brown didn't play the best of defense on Giannis, but the fact of the matter is down the stretch, he was trying to back him up. He had to shoot those hook shots in the middle if you guys were watching the game. Those are tough shots to make. Giannis makes those. Giannis makes those, but he definitely made it harder. The team coming down the stretch. Vinny, got anything to add about this series?
Nothing much, man. Boston played very well. I'm very happy how they played, and obviously Giannis is a great player, and stopping, not really stopping Giannis, but holding Giannis to 25 points, you gotta give yourself a pat on the back for that one.
20 rebounds. I
don't get that. Someone's got to rebound. Giannis,
I mean, Al Horford's your biggest guy. Especially on the floor sometimes. I mean, he played 40 minutes.
In no center and Robert Williams.
So he definitely had his way in the rebound category. But I think that definitely the way that they're shooting threes and the way that they were able to do that and really able to pick up the pace. I mean, the Bucks are quick, but they're definitely not quicker than the Celtics. I mean, the Celtics is very quick, and they were able to use their quickness as an advantage. And, Allen, obviously, Grayson Allen, 0 for 6 in the field, only 1 point, not his best game. Wesley Matthews, 3 points, so they didn't really have the best field, the people helping them out. Celtics in 7. But you guys got anything to add?
No.
We're going to go to the next game. Another big game. Miami Heat took down the 76ers in 6 games. Vinny, we know. Can you tell the fans what fan you are?
I am a die-hard Miami Heat fan. Heat Nation rise. I love the Miami Heat and everything about them. So I'm excited to talk about this.
Vinny, what do you think about Miami's performance? Obviously, I know you have them going all the way. What do you think of their performance? Obviously, Joel Embiid hurt a little bit, came back, played okay, won a couple games at home. What do you think about Are you feeling confident Miami going into the next round? Do you think that did they show you enough in this series to say, you know what, I feel confident going into the next series?
They showed me a lot, and I am very confident with how they played. I mean, a lot of the role players stepping up. I mean, fun stat for you guys. Miami have 8 undrafted players on their roster.
8.
That's insane. I mean, honestly, Philly did not have a great series. I mean, the Miami Heat knew what to do with James Harden. James Harden very inefficient series. I mean, down, not his cup of tea guard with the Miami Heat. I mean, and Jimmy Butler, 27.5 points he averaged in the series, 7.5 rebounds, 5 assists. He's been stepping up, and with no Kyle Lowry, someone's got to facilitate the offense. Jimmy Butler had no problem stepping up into that role. I'm very excited to see what this Heat team brings in the next series with Boston. It's going to be a very difficult matchup with Boston's talent, but I'm excited to see. I would like to hear your guys' thoughts on that one.
Matt, what do you think about the series?
Honestly, I have mixed thoughts about it because I thought Miami was going to sweep them early on when things like that, when Embiid was coming back and things like that. I thought they weren't able to do as much. But when Philadelphia was able to get a couple games, I started to get a little worried. I was like, oh, we have a series on our hands now. Things like that, but obviously Miami closes it out in the end, which I thought they were going to do from the beginning, but I started to get a little nervous. But I think that it's going to be very, very, very interesting when we get the Boston Celtics versus Miami Heat, just that matchup and how it works, that player-on-player matchup, especially between Butler and Tatum. That's going to be a great, great matchup. And just can't wait to see it.
I mean, talk about Miami. You have 5 people scoring in double figures constantly for the Miami Heat. I mean, depth upon depth, and that's really how the Celtics are built, too. They really have a lot of depth. Obviously, you have Jimmy Butler. Obviously, you have Tatum. But really, depending on how we always know that Tatum's going to show up. Normally, we know that Jimmy Butler's going to show up. What are the role players going to do? I feel like that's going to be huge in this next series. I mean, going off Miami, they did what I thought they were going to do. I thought that they were going to win in 5. I thought 76ers were going to get a game. They got more than 1 game. They got 2. But I thought Miami was in control mostly of the series. I mean, they got an incredible team, a very balanced team. Everyone knows their job. You got Jimmy Butler to score the buckets down the drain. But, man, James Harden, I was big on the 76ers team. I thought that they were going to do well. Obviously, Joel Embiid was not 100% healthy, so we have to take that into consideration here. But 76ers aren't going to win a championship with this roster. I'm sorry, but you're not going to win. Joel Embiid is an MVP caliber type player playing with James Harden, who I do not believe is playing at a number 2 option level player going into a championship level team. This is going to be very, very tough for the 76ers moving forward. You do not want to ruin Joel Embiid's career. I mean, this guy is a beast upon beast. And if you really have players surrounding him, he is such a problem, especially the way, in my opinion, the way Miami's built, the way that Boston's built, the way that even the Bucks are built. I mean, Joel Embiid, no one's stopping them on those 3 teams, the top teams in the East. Joel Embiid. But the problem is they really don't have the other players. I mean, you have Maxey, who had a great series, but I don't believe Maxey's a number 2 option going into a playoff team. But I like Miami. I like this Celtics team. You know, they obviously, I'm pretty sure I know what you're going to say. But I got to ask, Miami, Celtics, who do you got and how long do you think it's going to take?
All right. You know, I'm a little biased.
A little.
Not a little.
Very
biased. I'm going to go with Miami. It's going to go 7 games.
Wow.
I think to start off the series, both teams are going to split at home. And I think Miami's going to end up winning at 7. I mean, I'm very excited. I mean, we saw this 2 years ago, this matchup. The Heat won in 6, but bubble. Not many fans, home court advantage. So you can take what you got to say about that. Obviously, the Celtics got better. Heat got better. That's where I'm at with this series. I think Heat in 7.
Matt, what do you think about this?
I think it's going to be a good one. When I'm trying to predict this, I look back at, I'm hoping they get more of like the Boston Nets type series.
Yeah.
And like that, I see the matchup of Butler versus Tatum, and obviously Butler is an amazing, amazing player. But I honestly think Tatum's probably going to get the best of him, in my opinion, in the series. Obviously, he won't be able to shut him down, but I think they're both going to limit each other, and I think Tatum's going to produce a little bit more. I think it's going to go down to those role players, like how good's Bam going to play? Like, is he going to play to that potential, like Tyler Hero, some of those guys? And I feel like it is going to come down to some of those role players, but I feel like it's hard to not say Boston, in my opinion, but I think it is. I would give it around like a 60-40%, like in my opinion, that Boston wins the series, but I'd say Boston in 6, in my opinion.
I think, Matt, you hit the nail on the coffin. It's going to come down to the role players. We know what Jimmy Butler's bringing. We know what Tatum's bringing. Obviously, I'm a Celtics fan, so I'm not going to bet against them. But I do believe that the Celtics have better role players, in my own personal opinion. I mean, Jaylen Brown is a stud. Marcus Smart works well with the system. I mean, Al Horford's still balling out. I mean, the guy's a beast. Grant Williams, if he can play the way that he did in Game 7 consistently in this next series, that is going to be a huge problem. But I just have faith in Tatum and Brown. I just do. I think Tatum's been there before. He's been in the Eastern Conference Finals before, as is Jimmy Butler and crew. But, I mean, Jason Tatum, he's just a beast upon beast. I mean, this guy is really, really good. Jaylen Brown, I think he had a couple of games, a couple off games, but I think he's going to be really good in the series. I think he's going to be key. I think Grant Williams now has the confidence now to start shooting a lot more. I think Celtics in 7. I think Celtics go to Miami and beat them in Miami. And I know that's crazy to say, but I think Celtics get it done in 7 in Miami and go to the finals. Matt, who do you think? You got Celtics?
Yeah, as I just said, I definitely have Celtics. But we all could at least agree on one thing. I don't think this will be a runaway series either way. It's going to be very, very tight and right to the end. I feel like these are two very evenly matched teams. I don't think there's much favoritism on either side. It's just they're built very similarly, very team-oriented guys around that big wing player and like Butler and Tatum, and it's going to be a very, very, very good series in my opinion.
I don't think there will be any loss. I think every game is going to come down to the last 5 minutes of the game. Who wants it more? Who's going to hit the shots? These guys are NBA players at the end of the day. They're here, they get paid to do their job and do their job very well. These rosters are constructed with players who know how to excel in their role. And I don't think it's going to be a blowout. And by any means, the way these rosters are built from top to bottom, I think it's going to be the best series in the playoffs.
And let me tell you something right now. Watch the Boston Celtics defense. All I'm saying, the Celtics have an incredible defensive team. I want to see Jason Tatum on Jimmy Butler. I want to see what that matchup is. I want to see them go head to head. I think it's going to be close, a lot of games. And Boston has proven that in those close games they can come out on top. As is Miami, but I just trust them a little bit more down the stretch. We're going to have to see. You guys got anything to add before we move on to the Western Conference?
Don't sleep on the Heat.
Do not sleep on the Heat. I feel like I am a little. Which I need to respect them. I need to respect your team. I apologize.
I slept on, but
they are getting slept on for it. I think the reason people get slept on, Miami gets slept on a lot, is because they have Jimmy Butler, and then you see the rest of the roster, like they're okay, but you got Jimmy Butler, but I mean, they've been playing very well at a high level for a long time. They've been here before. They know what to do. I think that the Celtics, this is a team that's constructed to play the Warriors. And we might talk about that later on, so I like that. So here we go. We're going to the Western Conference semifinals. We're going to talk about the Golden State Warriors versus the Memphis Grizzlies. This went 6 games. They ended it at Golden State. Matt, we know that you're a Golden State fan. You like watching all the games. What do you think about Golden State in this series, and did anything surprise you?
I'll be honest, just like Vinny has a little bit of favoritism. I have a heavy favoritism for the Golden State Warriors. Huge Curry fan. I've had to say so myself. I think the series went pretty good with the Warriors. Obviously, they have to. I think they still have to get a lot of things straightened up because they didn't. I don't think they're playing at complete championship potential right now. Just like how they got blown out by Memphis. It's just like that game. That can't happen. Like that can't happen.
That was bad.
And they bounced back very nice. Play game 6. No one's beaten Clay game 6. Like one of the best players play. It's Jordan flew game 6 Clay. Like you know what I mean? Same level. I think Golden State played very good in this series. They need to patch up some certain things. Once they get that rhythm going, I think they'll get it together. But I'll be honest, I am worried. Not about maybe as much the Mavs. Obviously, they can beat them. But I'm more worried about the Eastern Conference. Some certain matchups they can't get that pace out.
Yeah. Vinny, what do you think about the series?
The series was, I don't know. I mean, closer than I thought.
Like
John Morant, I mean, the Warriors did. They got blown out in 5. But I think that was a fluke. The Warriors have championship history, and the way this roster is built, the chemistry they have with each other, this is the favorite to win the finals. In my
Mhm.
opinion. I mean, you look at the guys: Curry, Clay, Poole, Wiggins. How about Kuminga, man? 15 minutes per game, he's averaging 10 points. Who doesn't like that?
Mm.
The guy Draymond Green, obviously, you know what he's going to bring. And how about Kevon Looney?
Yeah.
Last game,
Yeah.
snagged 22 rebounds. I
Guy's
mean,
a stud.
how about that? I mean,
That's a big.
I thought Curry could have played a lot better in the series,
Mhm.
but he still averaged 26 points. But I mean, with Jordan Poole, man, I love the kid and what he brings to this team. Obviously, Klay Thompson coming back for the 2 years off, playing very well towards the end of the series. That's what I got to take away from the series. I'm impressed with. I think the Warriors are going to show us who the Warriors really are
Yeah.
versus the Mavs. Although the Mavs, you know, it's going to be a tough series. They got their role players as well, and obviously Luka. He's playing on a different planet right now.
You can say.
After seeing what he's doing, but think about Luka, he slows down the game and plays at his own pace. The Warriors like play at a fast pace.
Mhm.
It's going to be interesting to see how the playoffs, the series goes about. I'd like to hear your thoughts.
Let me tell you something right now. The thing that scares me about Golden State, I really don't feel like they've reached their highest potential. There was one game that they reached their highest potential. I'm not sure if it was game 3 or game 4, but they scored like 140-something points.
Yes.
Scored like a crap amount of three-pointers. I mean, Golden State is legit. The thing about Golden State is they're really hit or miss. They really, really are. There's some games where I'm like, this team is the best team in the world. And then there's other games where I'm like, what is going on with this team? And that's the crazy thing about Golden State. But I think that's what makes them very dangerous is they have the ability to turn it on like that at any point in time. Their offense, the way that they're able to move their offense, I mean, Curry, I feel like hasn't even hit his peak in the playoffs yet. I think he's going to have a big series. I think he's going to show up big. Klay Thompson, obviously Game 6 Klay. Jordan Poole obviously didn't have the series that he had last series, but he's still a star. Jordan Poole is still the man. I like him a lot. I think that Golden State definitely has some things to patch up. But I think if we're talking about overall roster, the way that it's built, they have the best roster left in the league out of the 4 teams. I think that Golden State showed us a lot, I mean, in this series about how they're going to play. They're going to play quick pace. They're going to play like this. They're going to shoot a lot of threes. They're going to live and die by the three, kind of like Boston Celtics. They're really built similar. I was surprised that this went 6 games, to be honest. I thought it was going to be a sweep, maybe 5 games at most. I'm surprised. We have to give the Grizzlies a lot of credit. I mean, they played very, very well from the circumstances they were brought in with John Morant. I mean, if John Morant was 100% healthy, they could have won 2 games at home, guys. They could have easily won 2 games at home. This series could have been a lot different, but if Ifs and Buts were candy and nuts, we'd all have a great Christmas, guys. So, I mean, can't say that. John Morant got hurt, and they were able to capitalize on that. But what else do you guys think about this series? Do you think that, you know, Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, Jordan Poole, what do you think about their performance? Did you like their series? I mean, Steph Curry, 26 points, Klay Thompson, 18 points, and then Jordan Poole, 17 points. What do you think about it, guys?
One thing I wanted to say up real quick, I just want to give credit to Desmond Bane. Played great down the stretch in that series. A lot more. Just like seeing like how good this Memphis team is going to be throughout the years. They're very, very, very young.
Yes.
Got Jackson, him, Morant. It's going to be a great team in the future. Obviously, they're able to get it done this series. Just want to give them that credit.
Yes.
And this Warriors team, when, as you said, they're very, very hit or miss so far in the playoffs. When they're on, they're literally by far the most unbeatable team on the face of the planet. But like when they're off, like anyone can beat them in the NBA. Because they hurt themselves. They're one of those teams.
Yes.
I can't see any team beating them but themselves. The amount of turnovers they do, the reckless passes, like Curry just throwing it to people, like here you go, here's a free layup, that type of thing half the time. Draymond's even looking like he's a rookie with some of these passes. It's just a little shaky, and then the free throw shooting. When Curry's missing free throws, he's shooting like probably around 80-something% in the playoffs. That's like unknown for Curry. Yeah. And then Poole's a little bit off on that. I think they'll be able to get it together, but as of right now, they just need to stop playing stupid. If they play smart, they're the best team left in my opinion. They just can't beat themselves, and then I think they should be good. But anyway, what do you think?
You nailed it, man. I mean, if you looked at what was it, Game 5?
Yeah.
Game 5, the last 3 minutes in the third quarter, they drew 4 turnovers. Lazy passes, over their heads, bouncing off the knees. I mean, it's a tough stretch, but this Warriors team is too good for that. And they know it as much as we know it. And going into next year's, I think everything should be taken care of. You don't want to see that. This is real Warriors basketball coming up. I mean, obviously the Dallas Mavericks, gotta give them respect.
Yeah,
but
great team.
The Warriors, man, I don't see anyone really beating this team. They just have too many players that just know how to play their role very well. And I really like how Wiggins is playing. 15.7 rebounds. Before this, he was averaging 3.8 rebounds. Stepped it up to get to 7 rebounds per game, and very happy how this team is performing. So
yeah.
The best is to come with this Golden State Warriors roster.
Absolutely. I mean, I think Curry has not shown the best in this playoff series. I expect him to really have a huge series coming up. I just think Curry's going to explode, in my opinion. I think he's on the verge of something big. I think that he's really going to cause Mavericks a lot of problems on offense, the way he moves, the way he's able to come off screens, the way he's able to just spread the floor out. I think it's really going to cause Dallas a lot of problems. I think Golden State really is just an amazing team, and I think Curry's going to show that next series. You guys got anything to add?
Very excited.
And the one thing that I want to add real quick is with Wiggins, obviously you said like the rebound numbers. But the one thing that I think which makes this team even better and better is his three-point shooting this series was down compared to last year's, things like that. They're giving a lot of open threes. He'll knock down those, I think, on average across a big period of time. So even I think Wiggins shooting is going to go up in this next series. I think this team's just going to get better and better. And
I think so too.
I think it's almost too late to beat them by now because I feel like when they start ramping up, this team's going to be one of the best teams in history. It's going to be insane.
They got stars upon stars. It's going to be very difficult for the Mavericks to match up with them.
All right, and speaking of the Mavericks. Okay.
Oh my, what happened?
If you guys watched Game 7, I'm sorry, get your money back. I apologize that you guys had to go through that. I was watching a television series with my brother, and we were going to watch Game 7, but then we just watched the score at halftime, and we were just like, what's the point? I mean, I have no words, guys. If you guys are watching the game, the literal, they outscored them by so many points. The score is 90 to 123, guys. 33 points. They were leading by 30 points a half, the largest deficit in a Game 7 off NBA history. That is crazy. I mean, I cannot even begin this. And let me just say this right now. Chris Paul, there's been four series, he was up 2-0 and lost. He lost in the Western Conference semifinals against the Spurs in 2008, 2013 Western Conference first round against the Grizzlies, first round against the Blazers 2016, and 2021 against the Bucks in the NBA Finals, and of course this series up 2 against the Dallas Mavericks. And not to mention they won the last 9 games against the Mavericks, dating all the way back to 2019. That's in the playoffs and the regular season. I don't even know where to start here. Vinny, what happened? What happened?
I'll tell you where we can start.
Okay, start.
Luka Doncic. Phenomenal for the Mavs. I mean, how could they guard him? If you're watching the series, they weren't double teaming him, sending any pressure. It was just a straight up one-on-one matchup. You can't have that with Luka. Luka's too good of a player to be guarded by one person. You need to send pressure to him. And this Mavericks team, I mean, how about Spencer Dinwiddie?
Yeah.
Top off.
30 points.
Exploded. Who would have thought? And I'll admit, I was upset when they traded Kristaps Porzingis for him. I thought they needed depth in the center position. They don't really have large guys down there. Tallest guy is Dwight Powell, 6'9". I mean, he's not a great defender. If he was a great defender, then I'd say, yeah. But no, he's not a great defender. Pick up Spencer Dinwiddie. All right. Another guard with Luka. Well, I guess it turned out.
It turned out.
Dinwiddie, Brunson, the guard trio, it played phenomenal. And Jalen Brunson chipping in 24 points on 11-19 shooting. Phenomenal play from the guards. Dorian Finney-Smith, the last few games, has been off. He did have a 24-point performance in Game 4, but, I mean, obviously the last few games he cooled off. Reggie Bullock had 19 points in Game 4, had 5 points this game, cooled off, but I mean, the guard trio really carried this offense. And talk about the Phoenix Suns. Where were they?
Not there.
27 points in the first half, and Luka matched it with 27 of his own.
They asked him, Luka, in the press conference, did you know you had the same amount of points as the Phoenix Suns have? He's like, yeah, of course. I mean, they were just playing with it.
Like,
Just
laughing
laughing
it
it
off.
off. And there's Phoenix Suns star players. I mean, Bridges 3-11, 6 points. Aiton only played 17 minutes, 5 points. Interesting about DeAndre Ayton. He's a restricted free agent this offseason. Suns said they did not want to give him a max contract. Ayton says he's worthy of a max contract. So it's going to be interesting to see if they lose him or they decide to match the offer. And Chris Paul, man, where has he been in this series, man? I like Chris Paul as a player. I respect him so much, but I mean, I know they said he's playing through a quad injury. Tough to play through an injury, but I mean, he was just nowhere to be found. And Devin Booker, man, after what he's been saying about Luka, laughing jokes about Luka, and about him flopping when, I don't know, Devin Booker lost in a Game 7 where you need to show out when the lights are upon you. You got everybody watching. You need to make a name for yourself. Try to go back to where you came from last year's finals. 3-14, 11 points. I don't know. This offense did not show up last night, and it's going to be interesting to see what the offseason brings.
Man, what do you think of this?
I don't even know what to think. It was just like the Phoenix Suns, they looks like they just weren't there. They weren't mentally there. Like Devin Booker, 3 for 14. 0 for 4 and 3. Can't even make a 3. Like, it's just... I'm honestly speechless. like Chris Paul, love the guy, great basketball player. It's just, I think he's getting up there in age, like slowly tipping off. It's like, I don't even know what to say. They played so horrible. Like there's no way to go around it. They played horrendous, and then Dallas had the game of their lives. Like there's no way around it. Luka played amazing. Basically everyone on Dallas played amazing. Everyone fulfilled their role. Guards played amazing, and then they just kept exposing Chris Paul on the defensive end, and it was hard to watch.
I would like to personally apologize to all the Phoenix Sun fans that bought tickets for Game 7 to see that. You should get your money refunded. I apologize thoroughly. I never walk out of games. I always stay until the end because you never know what happened. I might have walked out of that game because the Phoenix Suns did not come to play at all. That was embarrassing. And they even said it. They said it was a good old-fashioned butt whooping. I mean, that's what Devin Booker said. That is a fact. And here's the thing. And look, I am a huge Chris Paul fan. I love him. I love his game. I love the way he's able to distribute. But let me tell you something right now. After Game 3, he didn't score more than 13 points in any of the games in Game 3. I don't care if your leg is coming off. That is up. Because here's the thing. When you look at his stats, Game 3, 12 points, 5 for 9 shooting. Not a bad field goal percentage. 5 points in Game 4? Are you kidding me? 2 for 4? Not even that bad field goal percentage. Game 5, 7 points, 3 for 8 from the field. 13 points in Game 6, 4 from 7. 10 points in Game 7, 4 from 8 from the field. You haven't shot more than 9 points or 9 shots in any of the games since Game 3. You're supposed to be the leader of this team when things are going bad. I don't care if you're missing. We saw that with Giannis. That he was missing, but he wasn't afraid to take the shots. I have no idea what happened to Chris Paul. He could have been hurt. He could have not been hurt. But the hurt leg or whatever it was 100% affected their defensive strategy. They were switching on and off. They were playing pick and roll off of him. Luka did whatever he wanted. They were doing mismatches upon Chris Paul. Love Chris Paul to death. But I really think that the horrendous games that Chris Paul was playing is really genuinely taking away from what Devin Booker did not do. I think he's getting a pass here, guys. I mean, we all know Devin Booker didn't play his greatest, but 19 points and 11 points in Game 6 and Game 7? Unacceptable. Look, the Phoenix Suns had no business losing this series. Way better in every facet of the game. It's just sad. I feel bad. And look, you could lose Game 7, but to get humiliated in Game 7 on your home court, I mean, and look at this. Luka is not just a star. He is a superstar. 23 years of age. And this guy is arguably one of the best players in basketball. He averages 32 points in this series alone. He shot 9 from 11 from the field in the first half. 4 from 6 from three-point range, 27 points, as Ben already pointed out, 27 points by Luka in the first half is the same amount as the Suns made. I mean, I told you guys that Brunson had to show out in the later half of the series in order to have a shot. He had 9 points in Game 1, 13 points, I believe, in Game 2. Ever since then, he's been doing amazing. We always know Luka's going to do amazing, but, I mean, Spencer Dinwiddie, 30 points, Brunson, 24 points, and then Luka Doncic, 35 points. I'm not good at math, but that's close to the 90 points that Phoenix has just in those 3 players. I mean, amazing. I just, honestly, Luka is a superstar, one of the best players in basketball. You have to give him credit where credit is due. 23 years of age. Let me tell you something right now. I might rustle some feathers here, so I apologize. At 23 years of age, Luka is far beyond better than LeBron James ever was at age 23. What does that tell you? I don't know, but the Luka that I'm seeing right now is one of the best players I've ever seen at age 23. I mean, the stats he's able to accumulate is the ceiling is up here with Luka. I mean, this guy is absolutely amazing. I mean, you always know what he's going to bring to the table every game. Even hitting a game winner in the bubble last year, he has that gene. He has that Larry Bird type gene where he's able to make the shots when it counts. He has that killer instinct. I mean, guys, what do you think about this series? I mean, we talked a lot about the Suns, what they didn't do. Minnie, this might be a weird question. Did the Suns give away the series? Do you think it's more that the Suns lost the series? Or do you think it's just that Dallas just played that good? Or do you think it's kind of both?
I think it's on the Phoenix Suns for throwing away the series. They did not make the defensive matchups and adjustments that they should have made. Like, you can't guard Luka one-on-one. No matter who you throw at him, he's unguardable. He's pretty much unguardable unless you throw 2 people out and they can pass the ball out. I mean, he could shoot it over, he could not. But that's on them. They needed to make more defensive adjustments. I felt that they did not do that properly, and that's what really hurt them down the stretch in the series.
I mean, you got to give credit to Jason Kidd. Since Game 3 on, he made the defensive adjustments, really switching on Chris Paul. I mean, Jason Kidd really deserves an enormous amount of credit. The head coach for the Dallas Mavericks, incredible job for him. I think he's probably, I know Luka probably MVP in the series, but I mean, Jason Kidd, the way that he was able to make the adjustments as the head coach, amazing job. Matt, what do you think about this? Do you think the Suns lost, or do you think Dallas won it?
It's hard to say because Phoenix should have ran away with the series. Yeah, it should have been done in 4. Like, let's all be honest. Like, Luka's a great player, but they should have been. They're just more well-rounded, like top to bottom. Like the big men should have just they should have just swapped the floor with them. Like, it shouldn't have been close. Like the guards obviously got Luka and things like that, but I think there's more on people like DeAndre and people like that. It's just I think that was the big. I think it's more like him how they're able to like not facilitate through like the big men, because that was like their big advantage, at least in my opinion, in the series, like their well-roundedness, and then like the pace they could put on them. But and then also just Dallas played amazing. But I think I have to agree with you. I think it's more on the Phoenix Suns.
I really don't think they had a game plan, in my opinion, going into Game 6 and 7. I mean, I don't know what their game plan was. Whatever it was, it didn't work. Do you guys have anything to add before we go into the Western Conference Finals here?
Nothing much. I'm just excited to see the Mavs and Warriors match up. I think this series is not going to be ran away with. I think this series will go to, I'd say 6. Who do you got? I got the Warriors.
You got the Warriors.
Are just going to outmatch them. I think Warriors will actually come with a game plan and utilize their high athleticism with this Mavericks team. But I got to give the Mavs credit. They beat the Jazz in round 1. Now the Phoenix Suns. I mean, they're showing that they're no fluke. They're no joke. So it's going to be interesting to see.
Matt, what do you think? I know you like the Warriors, but what do you think?
Obviously, still very, very, very biased. But I think the Warriors will match up very good against this Dallas team. Obviously, with Luka, it's hard to say how they're guarded, maybe a little bit Draymond, a little bit of Wiggins. But I think they're not stupid enough to just put one guy on them 24/7 and just let him just shoot like over 50% on you and just do that. And I think they're just gonna, on the offensive end versus Dallas, I think they're just gonna try to just keep moving them around a little bit. As you could say how they did with Jokic in the first round, and him move around a lot. I think they're trying to do a lot with Luka, at least to Obviously, you're not going to be able to stop Luka completely, but at least be able to at least get him tired, get him into that hard place of just having to work a little bit extra than he's used to. Because as we all know, Luka plays a little more like that slow style. Very, very good at it, but I think the Warriors just could try to up the pace very quickly. It's going to be very interesting to see how they do certain matchups. I think Curry's going to be running in circles all game like usual. And who knows, Clay might be coming back off Game 6. Might be doing a little Game 6 and Game 1. Who knows?
Yeah.
But it's going to be very interesting. The one thing, in my opinion, that I'm really worried about as a Warriors fan, because I love Jordan Poole. On the defensive end, if they're able to expose him like they did Chris Paul, that's the most thing I'm worried as a Warriors fan right now. But Kevon Looney, I think he's going to have another great series. I think he is by far the most underrated person on this Warriors team. Everyone's talking about Poole off the bench. Talking about even Kuminga, I think almost more than him. Kuminga's a great player, by the way.
Game 6.
But he almost gives me like that, like a little taller, like a Draymond vibe. Like he's like the guy get down dirty. Obviously not as fast or like he's athletic as Draymond.
He does his job.
He does his job. He does it perfectly. That's what you see like this Warriors team. The centers never really stood out throughout the years, but they're always exactly what you need and even more. They just great centers, and I see them. This might be a little crazy. You guys can get mad at me if you want. I think Warriors get this done in 5. I don't think it's a sweep because I think Luka's going to have one game he's going to go crazy and the Warriors are going to look completely horrendous. But I just don't. I don't see this game going 7. It could go 6. I could agree. If it goes 6, I wouldn't be too surprised. But I think 5 is the most likely. Like for example, except for that Game 7 at Phoenix, that whole series with Phoenix and Dallas, the home team always won every single game. Like back forth until like Game 7, obviously. But it's going to be hard for the Warriors to win in Dallas, but I think they'll be able to pull one out there and then they'll win 2 at home. And then, or that's what I meant. I think they'll just be able to win one there and just win the other 3 at home. And I think they'll be able to pull it out. But obviously, it's going to be a very, very hard series, but I think there's going to... I think they're going to have a game plan. That's what it comes down to. You know, Phoenix, they just show up, they're like, oh, we're better. You know, we do this, that, better all-around team. The Warriors have that. They actually have a coach, like a good one, you know? Obviously, coming off of COVID, you never know with Steve Kerr, but I think they're actually got a game plan, guys. Like, they weren't just going to go out there and play basketball.
It's crazy that because Monty Williams was coach of the Phoenix Suns, one coach of the year. And you think he'd live up to that?
I don't think he did. I didn't think he did. I mean, he can't help Chris Paul only shoot 8 points or 8 shots. I mean, he couldn't help that.
It's hard. It's hard. You almost have to take the award away after that. You know what I mean? It's hard.
But he gives the award back. Sorry. But no, let me tell you something right now. Golden State, do not take it easy on this Mavs team. Do not let them get in this. Let me tell you something right now. Don't pity Patty. Don't do any of this with this Mavericks team. Because I'm telling you right now, this Mavericks team is a very underrated basketball team. I think that they played absolutely incredible against the Suns Game 6 and Game 7. They just really showed out. I think Steve Kerr coming off of COVID is going to be big for the Golden State Warriors. I think they're going to have a huge game plan. I think that a lot of people really underestimate Steve Kerr, including myself, but really seeing the difference, the way that they play. Not saying Golden State didn't play great, but I think that they could play better. But let me tell you something right now. It's all going to depend on Golden State and which Golden State team shows up. If they show up the way that Golden State knows they can show up, they can end this in 5. I think this is going to 7. I think this is going to 7 games. Let me tell you something right now.
What do you got? In 7.
Let me tell you something right now. If this game goes close, I trust Luka more than anyone else on the court. I'm sorry, Luka has shown to be so good. So good. All I'm saying right now, that's why I say Golden State's got to show up. Because if it's close down the stretch, I'm telling you right now, Dallas is going to win this game. I'm telling you right now, Luka is the best player in the world. He's the best player in the world. Luka is the best player in the world. Do not let this game get even close. Golden State is a better team than the Dallas Mavericks. They should win this series. But all I'm saying is, don't let it get close. Just put them out when they deserve to be put out. Because let me tell you something right now. If they flirt with fire, they're going to get burnt. And Luka's going to be the one to put their foot in the fire. I'm telling you right now.
Wow. And now that we're talking about Luka having that clutch gene, I mean, in the elimination games, LeBron was second most points per game with 35. Now Luka's ahead now with 39 points per game in elimination games. So him and LeBron sharing the top two spots. Obviously, Luka averaging 4 more points in elimination games. That's clutch gene, man. He's got a bright future. As you mentioned, only 23 years old.
Incredible.
So the series, I think we'll go 6. You said 7.
I think
I'll say 5. I got the Warriors winning the series.
Matt, what do you got?
I got Warriors. It's just I think there's just it's too much. I think they're coming out with the game plan. You know, as the Warriors not playing for the Kings anymore. You know, they're actually going back to the actual Warriors now with Steve Kerr. I think Curry's actually going to show up. I think Clay is going to. I think everyone's just going to play. Even if they play like average, as long as they don't like hurt themselves and just like make themselves lose these games. I think they got it.
Yeah.
Obviously, you don't have like coming back from certain injuries. Like Gary Payton probably not going to play.
Yeah.
Like I think he's out for the year probably with that injury, things like that. But this Warriors team is just so well rounded. And they got Luka. You know, it's how it's coming down to. Obviously, they got more than Luka, but you know what I mean. If they're gonna win, it's gonna be through Luka.
Yeah.
Like they don't. That's like the Warriors. They have like 4 or 5 players that could win you a game. Dallas has 1.
Yeah.
I think that's what's come down to in this series. That's why I think Luka's gonna go crazy one game. I think that's gonna be it.
I'm telling you this right now. If I had to put my money on it, I'm putting it on the Golden State Warriors because I believe that they are the better team. I think that they have a better roster. I believe that they have better playmakers. I believe that they're quicker. I believe that they're going to take the series. But, this is big but, do not let the series get close. I'm telling you this right now. I know Golden State has been there before. Luka's just a different beast. And I'm telling you this right now. Just don't let it get close because I think Luka can really sneak up and win a couple of these games. I think it should be interesting. I got Golden State in 7 by a hair, and it's going to be really close. And I think it's going to come down to Steph Curry and Klay Thompson making the threes when it matters most, and I think Luka's going to have a big game. But last time I checked, 3 points count more than 2, and I think Golden State is the better 3-point shooters, and I think that their 3 points are going to excel this team. But, man, I think it's going to go back to Golden State in Game 7. And I could be completely wrong. If the Golden State team that showed up against the Grizzlies shows up the exact same team that showed up against the Grizzlies, it's going to 7 games. But if they play a better series than they played, this can go 5-6. But I think that they have to play better. Because I think that the Dallas is a lot better than the Grizzlies, in my opinion. So we're going to have to see. But what do you guys... I made a pretty big statement, if you guys did not hear me. I said that Luka's the best player in the world. Look, it's between him and Giannis. And I'm saying right now, I thought Giannis was number 1, but given these playoff series, I think Luka really cultivated that one spot. If I had to pick one player right now for next year alone, I would pick Giannis. But going for my future, I would pick Luka. But Vinny, who do you think is the best player in the world and also left in the playoffs? Who do you want on your team?
So, obviously, playoffs, I'm going to have to go with Luka. I mean, you know what he brings to the table. Sleeper picks, obviously, Tatum and Butler. Offense and defense, Luka does not bring the defense. You could really expose Luka and get him tired running around. You can't get Tatum tired, really. I mean, this is what the guy is known for playing defense too. But best player in the world, you gotta give me Giannis. Giannis is very dominant still. 27 years old and he's achieved so much in this league. So that's where I'm at. I got Giannis as the best player in the world.
Man, what do you think?
Very mixed around a lot of players. It's just if you're talking the best player in the world, it's probably Giannis. But if you're building a team, it's just I feel like when you're building a team, it just depends on what type of player you need. Because I think if you're looking for like a wing, I would take Tatum, like one of those type players. If you're looking for a big guy, I would take like Giannis. But if we're going to guards, I don't know if I would consider Luka a guard or a wing. To be honest, he's kind of like my. Because when I think of guards, I think of people like Curry, like Paul, maybe like even Morant. Like I don't really think of Luka. I see him as like a Jimmy Butler, like Jason Tatum, like wing type guy, just because he's so big. But you have to say Giannis overall best. But like best player in the playoffs, it's hard. Right now, I would say Jason Tatum almost even too. I think him and I would say him and Luka 1-2, however you want to put it right now, playing the best. But all I gotta say is don't sleep on Curry. I think he's gonna come out in this next series. I think it gets to the point. Sometimes I feel like he almost plays a little too passive.
Yes.
Once like because he has so great players around him, he's like gives it up sometimes. I feel like when he could just take over. I feel like it's just it has to get to that time where he's going to get hot and it's going to look.
Yeah.
Because he's, in my opinion, I still think he's the hardest player to game plan almost against in the NBA. Just like how perfectly that team works around him is insane. You take Draymond out, Draymond also another heart and soul of this team. They still lose a lot, but if you take Curry out of this equation, which still like the great talent around them, they look horrendous. Like without Curry, this team is like 500 at best, and that's if they're lucky.
Yeah.
Like they probably one of the worst teams.
Their offense is centered around Curry.
100%. You have to build this team so completely different. I think it's, especially in this series, I think Curry come out big against the Mavs. Like Luka can't guard Curry. Let's all be honest. He just can't guard Curry. They're not going to have
How long
him
people on the
Curry.
earth can guard
They'll
Curry?
probably have someone like Brunson on him or something like that. It's gonna be a good series to watch, but I think it's gonna come down to either Clay or Curry, and I think just you ever pick whoever poison you want.
Yeah.
And I think just naturally it's gonna be Curry, just because I think he's naturally gonna he's gonna. I feel like he's gonna break out and just take it over, especially if it gets close. Because if it gets close, I think it's going to come down to a little bit more of like the Curry versus Doncic thing.
Yeah,
obviously
experience, man.
Yeah.
And they both got, even though Doncic is 23, let's not deny that he doesn't have experience. He's been playing professional ball since he was like 16.
Yeah. He's been in the league for a minute.
You can't, it's hard to act like, oh, he's like a young guy, he's learning. Like, you can't do like the John Morant argument type of thing.
Yeah.
Like, this guy is a seasoned all-star veteran. Like he's one of the best players in the NBA. He's rising up quickly, very, very quickly, and he just. I just don't know I've ever seen his like game style before. Like how he plays offense, like type of thing. He's almost like obviously him and Curry completely different style, but I feel like they're almost like unique in their styles.
Yeah.
You see a lot of like these guys throughout the like. You could throw in like the Jimmy Butler and the Jason Tatum. They have like that fast like wing, almost obviously not comparing them at all, but same sort of styles like MJ or Kobe Bryant, like those fast wings. Like obviously Kobe Bryant a little bit littler, like LeBron James, like fast wing, like the athletic guys. But Luka's one of those guys. He's not athletic. Let's be honest. He's just
crazy that he's that good. He reminds me a lot of Larry Bird. Larry Bird was really not. I mean, I guess it's athletic, but
I feel like that's the closest guy. Obviously not directly comparing him right now, game styles in particular. I think he's like the closest guy to compare him in history, at least one I can think about. Vinny, can you think about anyone that's even?
No, honestly, if he had athleticism, he reminds me of a little bit of LeBron and Larry Bird, as you're saying. I mean, if you look at Luka's game, I mean, he's a great passer. He knows how to score all levels. He can get to the hoop. I mean, that doesn't look the prettiest, but he can do it. He can hit step back threes, plays great on the pick and roll, backs down guards. He backs down big. He backed down Aiden a few times in the paint, knocks some fadeaway jump shots. So I'd say he reminds me of LeBron without the athleticism and Larry Bird.
Yeah. It's so tough for me, Giannis or Luka. I take either one of them, but
I would take Luka, honestly.
If I'm in the fourth quarter, give me Luka, man. Give me Luka. The guy is a cold-blooded killer in the fourth quarter. I mean, if I need a bucket, give me Luka. I think Giannis might be the better player, but I'm just a sucker for those people that can really take over those games late. And Luka's one of those players that can take over those games late. And I think that's why this series, in my opinion, is just going to be very, very unpredictable because you really don't know what's going to happen. I think after game 1 and game 2, we're going to have a good idea. If Dallas can really keep up with Golden State at Golden State, I think that's going to be big.
And going back to like the Luka versus Giannis, because I personally like Luka a little bit better, and obviously like talk about like highlight athleticism all go to Giannis. But the one that stands out with me, I think Luka, it's just his intelligence is on another level.
He is very intelligent.
Like especially obviously didn't play great Giannis in that game 7. Like he did, but not like his best game. Still played great. sometimes he just looks like he plays very emotional. Like he just drives to the basket, like has no care in the world how it goes. Like sometimes it looks like. I feel like he doesn't have that extra intelligence that Luka has. I feel like Luka, obviously he's like. I feel like he's just there's not much. Like his intelligence is just so much there, passing so much there. The only thing that's slightly lacking is like athleticism. But he like even with his crappy athleticism, like he could do stuff that just looks ugly.
Yeah.
Like and then his shot is beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And then that's why I like Luka personally. That's why I like Luka over Giannis because I feel like just the intelligence is just especially in those late game situations. Like able to just do like that little outsmart them a little bit to get that little bit extra room. I feel like that's why I like Luka in those situations.
Yeah. I had Celtics Warriors in my prediction before the playoffs started for the finals, and I think that's what it's going to be. But I believe in Boston, and I think this is going to be a great series, guys. I think they're very evenly matched. I think Dallas. Not as great as Golden State, but I think Luka is really going to make this a series. Guys, what else do you think about these series? Got anything more to add?
I mean, I had my final prediction: Heat Warriors. It could still work. I was going to Celtics to be a tough matchup, but I still stand by my prediction of Heat and Warriors to go into the finals.
Did you have Heat in 6 or Heat in 7?
Heat in 7.
Okay. Matt?
Because I have to agree with you, Mike. I think it's probably going to be Celtics Warriors. I think that's going to be a crazy good matchup, especially those games at the Garden.
Imagine those ticket sales. I'm just saying, it's Boston. It's a big market. And all Golden State comes to town, it's going to be.
And all I got to say is, especially if I think Curry's going to do good against the Mavs, I think he's going to do better against the Celtics. I feel like how he I feel like how whenever he plays against the Celtics, I feel like he always just. At least whenever I watch him, I feel like he always just. That's one of those teams I feel like he does really good against.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't know. I feel like he kind of likes the Garden feel a little bit. I feel like he'll just start them in that series. Obviously, Jaylen Brown, Mark Smart, great people. I don't think they guard Curry. I'll be honest with you. I think they'll almost. I feel like they're good defenders enough that they feel like they could guard them, so they're not going to like double, triple team them to that point. And I feel like it's going to be crazy.
Who's starting Luka, if you think?
It's probably Wiggins. Maybe Draymond and a couple like screens and things like that. But I feel like Wiggins could be the primary defender. I could see Kuminga potentially like in certain situations when Wiggins is on the bench and things like that. But I feel like it's going to be mostly Wiggins. And Wiggins has been playing pretty good defense. I think he's not going to be able to stop him, but I think he's going to do a lot. And I think, but mark me on this, I think if it gets down to like late game situations, I think you have Draymond on him. At least that's why I see the Warriors doing, because Draymond's clutch defense versus clutch offense and Doncic, that down the stretch close game,
oh man,
that would be beautiful to watch. It's especially like last series, like Jackson, like 3 blocked by Green, things like that, those great plays. It's just almost like Drew Holiday was in the clutch a little bit in the defense end. That's gonna be crazy. That's where at least as the Warriors, if I was Steve Kerr, that's where I would go with that matchup near the end. But it's gonna be interesting. Vinny, who do you like in the finals? And like, cause you said you like Heat Warriors.
Yes.
If that happens,
ooh,
who do you like in that matchup? And how long do you think it would go?
Of course, I'm gonna go with Heat. Man, the Heat have been to the finals before, so the Warriors, they won a few. He have not won in a little bit. It's been about 10 years. So winning a title without LeBron would feel it would be nice. Prove to everyone that they could win without LeBron since he waited in 06. But I have the series going to 7 if it were to be Heat and Warriors, and I'm going to take the Heat. I am very biased. Of course, I'll admit it. I'm biased, but
I like you admit it though. You're good reporter.
So I'd like to hear what you guys think.
I'm gonna be disrespectful.
Oh gosh.
And I'm sorry.
Oh gosh.
I'm gonna pick on you a little bit. Specifically, I'm not trying to say the Mavs can't make it to the finals because they have Luka. Anything can happen. But specifically, if the Warriors versus either one of the teams, I think the Celtics game probably almost goes to a game 7, like 6 or 7 type thing. But I think if they face the Heat, it might be a 5 or a 6, in my opinion. Just matchup wise. I think Jimmy Butler versus Wiggins. Obviously, Jimmy Butler a better player, but I don't think he'll get to the point where like Jason, like Tatum over him, in my opinion. And then I just the rest of their lineup, it's like a good, like well-rounded lineup. I can't see them doing as much production as the Celtics, at least matchup-wise. I'm not saying like them as a team versus like, because it's like matchups just they make the games, and I'm not trying to disrespect your Heat. It's just in my opinion, I just think the Warriors versus the Heat matchup, when I think more and more about it, I just those guards I feel like would just have a field day.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
I'm going to continue the bias train as a Celtics fan. And before the playoffs started, I said Celtics. I'm going to keep with my Celtics. Look, I think that the Celtics, if they make it to the finals, they're going to make a big splash. I don't know, but I just think that Jason Tatum's really going to show a lot in the finals. I think that Jason Tatum's really, really good. I think the team's really, really good. Celtics in 6.
Against who? The Warriors?
Mm-hmm. Celtics in 6. Hopefully. Hopefully. But I mean, we have 3 separate teams, so if the Dallas wins, then none of us will be happy. But
yeah.
But you know, X Factor is things to watch in the games. Maybe a player to watch that maybe people aren't really expecting.
Well, after we'll talk about what games
Or anything.
Going into this Mavs and Warriors series, ride the hot train with Dinwiddie. I mean, he had a good game last game. He's got to keep it up, and he is not a bad defender as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if he actually started a little bit. I think you can see him move into the starting rotation and guard Curry.
Yeah.
And I know Curry, obviously, he's going to do his thing, but I think he's a better defender than you put Brunson on him or Lucas. So, I mean, it'd be interesting. That's my X factor for that.
Now, what do you think?
In that series, I got Kevon Looney as an X factor. You'll put him down. I think he'll just do a lot of, like, as we were talking about earlier, because all the Mavs got their tallest guy 6'9" type thing. Like Looney's not that tall either, but I feel like Looney will be able to. I feel like he'll be able to get a lot of rebounds in that series, and that'll be like the X factor will possibly put them over in that certain department. And but the Mavs, I do have to agree with you. Dinwiddie probably. I feel like he's going to get a lot more playing time, able to shine a lot more. And when we go to Celtics, I'm going to do a shot in the dark. I would actually put Pritchard as my.
Okay.
That's a shot in the dark. That's a guy that possibly might show up. Great shooter, especially because how the Celtics team plays, shoots like the lights out if they're winning, obviously. And I think that he's going to slightly, like more and more get more playing time. I feel like he's almost might become like a 6-man type of, like a clear 6-man type of the Celtics. And I think there's so many great players, and I think they're just going to leave him more open than they probably should. And I feel like he's just going to. Because, like, for example, 4 for 6 for 3, obviously we know he's a great 3-point shooter. I think he's going to keep that up. Like, that's going to put them over the edge in that series, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think really you got to watch out for Brunson, as well as Spencer Dinwiddie. I mean, their bench players and their role players really are huge for the Dallas Mavericks. I mean, we know Luke is going to show up. Is Brunson going to show up? I mean, he cannot show up the way that he did in the first 2 games in the semifinals. He needs to be a great benefactor for this team. I mean, 11 for 19 from the field in a Game 7 is huge. I mean, I know they're blowing him out, but that's huge right there. So I think that's a huge player to watch. And for the Celtics, you know, really watch out for Marcus Smart. I mean, he's a really good player, but I think defensively he's going to be huge, especially against his team. I mean, he's the leader on the defense. Defense is going to be huge in that series. I think watch out for Marcus Smart's defense. I think he's going to make a couple big plays in the series. Guys, got anything more to add?
We good ones to watch.
Yes, Tuesday we got I think the Celtics and the Heat. And then Wednesday, we got the Warriors. I'm blanking, sorry. It's
Warriors and
Mavs. There you go. It's been a long podcast. So thank you guys. If you guys have lasted this long, this is Deep Dive in Between the Lines. My name's Mike.
I'm Benny.
And I'm Matt.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Episode 2. We'll come back right after the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference Finals to talk the NBA Finals right here on Deep Dive in Between the Lines. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Peace.
Thank you all for tuning in, and if you enjoyed this podcast, make sure to leave a like below and subscribe.
Yes, that would help us out a lot.
We have a lot of different sports on here, everywhere from MMA to basketball to baseball to football when it comes around, which we're very excited about.
Everything, guys.
Just all sports, and we'll keep it up, and thank you all for watching this long, and thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Peace.
Great job, guys.
Okay, sorry, I wanted to put the like and subscribe.
Great job, guys. Hey, great job.
Good job, guys.
What you guys think?
Well,
I thought we did the hour mark.